What is going on, folks? TJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer, here, head of community for Out of the Park Developments, alongside Matt Arnold, lead developer for Out of the Park Baseball 24. Matt, how's it going? I need you to speak loud. I need you to speak clear. I need you to love
I'm
my hat.
glad to be on. Hat is nice. You definitely always have a hat game going. I cannot compete with you on that forever.
I was lucky enough to have a Braves hat that matches the Out of the Park Baseball 24 color scheme. Figured
I
perfect
could
to
have
wear.
I could have grabbed my one baseball hat that I own, but it's probably 8 years old or 10 years old and a little worse for wear. But
You need to go find a. Oh, I have a green hat from down there, and I don't know what team it is. Leones. Something.
mm,
Yeah. All right, Matt. Well, we are here to talk about Out of the Park Baseball 24. We're going to do a deep dive to some of the cool new stuff that you've added this year. I can't say I've done anything except for tell you to change things, and then I force those things to get broken, and then you have to fix them again. So,
yeah, you bug me constantly, but it's all good. No, you got a good team. We've added a lot of nice stuff, so I'm certainly happy to show off a few of the pieces.
before we dive in, just go over the schedule for the next couple weeks. Talking about what we're going to be showing off again today is going to be the franchise mode deep dive with me and Matt. That's us. We're here. We're also going to rebroadcast this tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for people that have to check out early because they're watching the Canada game or for any other reason. Then this Thursday, we got the OOTP 24 Big Picture with Scott Braun and Marcus. I always want to say Marcus's name, and I always assume I'm going to say his last name wrong. It's Heinsohn, right?
Yeah,
I
essentially.
don't know. That HN always terrifies me. Then that's going to be on YouTube on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Monday, March 20th, we have the Perfect Team 24 reveal with Paul and Rob. You're definitely going to want to be here for that. Not on the calendar, Tuesday, March 21st, my normal stream time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're just going to hop in because that's going to be the day that the beta launches to people that pre-order from OOTPdevelopments.com. So we'll just do a nice little chill sesh. I have a top secret guest that you're all going to want to be here to see. And then Thursday, This Week in Perfect Team kicks off on the 23rd and the 24th, worldwide release of Out of the Park Baseball 24. That's when you're going to be able to pick it up on Steam, Epic, and Apple App Store. And I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Matt, are you excited?
I'm always excited.
We're going to be working real hard these next 2 weeks to make sure everything's nice and polished and try not to break anything else while we're fixing other things. But
Yeah, and that's a good segue into the reminder. This is still the pre-beta launch version that we're going to show off today. So certainly there are some things that may not quite be right. There are a few things that are still always being tweaked, always being adjusted, always being updated, and all that sort of stuff. So it should mostly work, I think. I hope.
yeah, I mean, I just patched it an hour ago to the latest build, so
Oh God.
I
Oh
haven't
no.
seen any
Uh,
messages that's going to break in some amazingly spectacular way.
yeah, we'll see.
You are
But
taxing my graphics card that I still have not updated in like 9 years, so we'll see what happens here.
if the in-game quality doesn't look great, we can blame TJ's computer on that. It's not the actual animations, the actual programming. That stuff all is great. So
Definitely the case. And if the whole thing just shuts down in the middle of it, blame my
absolutely.
computer. That is
But
definitely not an out of the park problem.
but no, it's good. It should be nice. It should be good. And as I said, we're happy to show off a few of the features, a few of the pieces. We're certainly not going to show off everything, but we'll see what we can get through in the stream.
We got Alex in the chat, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat. And so if you guys have any questions that we can answer, we can put them. We can try to do that. I'm not rocking a 1088 Ti. I kind of wish I was because I think my RX 380 is probably older than that. I don't even think 1080s were out when I got my graphics card. Also, as mentioned, those big letters down below, this is just going to be the franchise mode deep dive. Perfect Team stuff's going to be handled on the Perfect Team stream. So ask us Perfect Team questions. Even though Matt probably knows all the answers to the Perfect Team questions, we're not going to be talking about that today. So I guess we just dive in, huh, Matt? Thoughts?
Let's go.
All right. Here is, I'm named our GM, good old pre-order OOTP 24 today, which you can go over to ootpdevelopments.com and do. Pre-order is his given name with the hyphen. I haven't seen that much before. But the good part about that,
Mr. OT24 today. We'll see what we can do with this. We'll see what kind of hints our assistant general manager, I guess, will give us.
you know what's weird? Since we're the Brewers, you know who our assistant general manager is? None other than Matt Arnold. What a weird coincidence.
Convenient.
Or reputation. I don't know if I agree with that.
He's still fresh, still young. So
44.
really not.
Is this the guy the Mets were trying to get? Were they trying to get the other guy?
No, I mean they're not trying to get a lot of guys, but
He's in the
now
mix.
he just young guy. I got good hope from my namesake going forward there in the future, and see what he can do with that franchise.
First thing we're going to talk about is the changes to owner goals this year. Here we are on the main screen. You have the little goals down here, or you can go to front office and owner and see your owner goals. And now, for some of them, you will see a discuss button.
So the owner goals certainly always wanted to give a little refresh to them on the whole. So now we have a little bit of ability to push back on your owner goals. So some of them you can discuss and try to negotiate. Some of them you can't. So as you see here, like the improve your fan interest goal, that is one that since your owner has a high priority on, they care a lot more about that one than the other one. You can't negotiate on that one, but you can try to negotiate potentially on the like the staff cohesion one here, for example. So if that's something that you don't really want to tackle, then you can click to discuss, and you get pop up with a little dialogue here that shows you. He basically gives you an option for what to replace it with. So they kind of have something in their back pocket to think about. So now you're going to decide: do I rather keep with the staff cohesion option here, or do I want to go and try to look for a center fielder? You know, you can kind of compare the two of them, see what the differences are, and then you basically have the option to either accept the change, in which case you get the change, or you can decline the change. If you decline the change, then depending on your owner's mood and personality and feeling, and where Saturn is in the sky, they can either force you to stick with the current one you have now, or potentially they can give you other options, I think. This is where I always forget. I have to read the text block to see here what it says.
Declining the recommended goal will either lock in the current goal and not allow you to replace it again, or possibly give you another option to.
Yeah, so yeah, basically, yeah, now that I remember that. Yeah, so if you don't want to upgrade a center fielder, if you decline this, they may give you another choice. So it won't be like upgrade left field or something. It'll probably be sort of a different category of goal. But you kind of have to make that decision, and there is also a cost to these as well. It's not just like a free swap for all these things, and it will depend on sort of the owner's mood, their priorities, what other things they have planned. So, but it just gives you a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more leeway to kind of push back and see. So I don't know what you want to do here with this team. You want to decline and see what that does, see what it breaks. Let's decline.
Continue with declining the replacement of. Yes. Antanasio has decided to give you another choice.
So now you can't go back to the center fielder one. So now it's just acquire an all-star or staff cohesion. Or you can always essentially cancel it, right? If you just don't want to go it, if you want to go back and look at what is my staff cohesion right now? Do I think I need to do that? Yada yada yada. And so that's always an option. As well with all the owner goals, we've also added I forget, 3 or 4, I believe, other sort of categories of owner goal as well. So there's all the favorites from the past, as I'm sure people always hate the owner goals, whatever they give you. But there's also a few other choices. Uh, One of the ones is I know is sometimes your owner will ask you to sort of increase your performance in close and late situations, or maybe they want you to sort of bring in a lefty batter and be better against lefties, and sort of a little bit more situational goal there. There's a few other goals in terms of I know there's team chemistry, there's staff chemistry, there's cohesion. There's a few sort of choices around that. So we've added a few more goals, made a couple tweaks and stuff on the current setup, and added the ability to swap them out, added the priorities, and now you kind of have another choice, another look, and you can also see that this one is only sort of a medium priority. So, maybe you don't worry, and you just kind of have to worry more about the high priority goal that the owner's assigned to you.
And is there a cutoff as to when you can discuss these goals? Like, we've already got the happy cohesion, probably, or the happy progress. Probably not a great time to change the goal. But if you have something that's failing, like, how late into the season can you do that?
There is a cutoff, I think. I do not remember what it is. I think it's somewhere around the halfway point. So in some ways, I'm surprised you can do it now, but it might be at like the 2/3 mark or something like that. I don't remember exactly, and it will also depend a little bit on this is this one I think is a 2-year goal essentially. Like its target is next year, 2024. So that gives you a little bit more flexibility. If its target year was this year, like if it was, improve your cohesion by the end of this year, then I think that may have already not been able to swap it out. So it's also possible, like on the other one that they're not letting you discuss, that one might already, it's not necessarily that it's a high priority goal always is the only reason you can't swap it out, but it might be, too late in the season for you to make that change. So yeah, that's I guess that's no extra too, but yeah, probably that one's more of a high priority. You can't do it. But those are generally the big changes to owner goals as well.
Question from Infected Llama 22. If I import a save from OOTP 23, will I have access to these changes in the save? Yeah.
Mostly.
Shouldn't break too much of it.
Some of the stuff like the owner goals, I believe we should potentially allow you to swap them out. There might be some issues of depending when on the season you're importing and so on.
Yeah, I think it's best to import like after the playoffs.
Yeah,
like
usually
arbitration.
Import sort of after the last World Series game, but before you go to off season, which would actually assign new owner goals and all that stuff. If you import then it's certainly no problem. When you get the new set of owner goals, you'll get these sort of discussion options. And if you import at another time of the season, it's possible you might not be able to import, or you might not be given the option to discuss until at least the current season is up, and you get some new options there.
Good trade, Odoo. Another one of this year. In the past, you could trade. What was it? 5 players for 5 players?
Yeah.
Max. Now, you just keep adding names. Seemingly forever, but not actually forever. Now you can add up to 10 players on each side of a trade.
Yeah, so we've extended out the level of trades. We've seen a couple of trades in real life that had a lot of players in them, I think. So that's one reason to swap it out. And I think TJ at some point also sent me a message and said, "Hey, why can't I have more players for this trade?" And I said, "Oh," and then did that. So
Look, I'm not gonna lie. The majority of new stuff we add to the game is from people who come by on Tuesday nights, watch my streams, and they say, "Hey, why can't we do this?" And I say, "Hey, we should be able to do that." Then Matt gets a Slack message at 10:30 at night. He rolls over, gets very angry, and he's like, "I guess it's a good idea." And then copy and
yeah.
paste the chat so that he knows that other people want it, not just me.
Yeah, and then similar to the contract lengths going up to 15 years instead of 10, that's another option that you can. I think the contract length one you can change in the league settings. The trading one you can't. That one's actually a fixed one, but yeah. So that's another one that's people have said, why can't we sign more players to these long contracts? And for some reason, MLB teams have signed an awful lot of guys to some awfully long trades, or long contracts. I mean, so that's certainly another big one. Yeah, on the contract side too, he might not be in his last year of his deal. Is that why you can't sign him? He signed for 2030 already, so usually it's
Jesse
better with the
Winker.
pre-arbitration guys to show off if you want to show off some of the things.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so we made a couple other changes to
Woodruff.
some of the contract extensions. So we've added sort of a better handling of some of these the long-term deals and arbitration demands to give. So you can go here, and generally speaking, players will tend to give you kind of what their long-term demand is. And if you go up and hit that little apply long-term demand button, then it will at least, it doesn't do much for Woodruff here, but it will kind of at least shape the offer based on the arbitration years. And we've done, a few other changes as well, so that when they give you like counter offers back, I think we should be a little bit better of, not just being like, I want 20 million a year, even if it's a 22-year-old who's never played in the game. It kind of will try to shape it to the long term, the usual salary arbitration system.
I'm not gonna lie. I just realized a change that I didn't even realize in all my testing. Used for rest for all the years now. Huge.
Yeah, I know. I know personally. I always hate it when I like, you know, set. I want to change it from 21 to 20 or something, and you like change it to 20, and then I'd always like change the number of years down so that that year is the last one, and then change it back up to the top so that it copies it all the way down. And it's like, we've got the space for the button. Let's just use that for all the
Yeah.
spots. So yeah, there's always a lot of little quality of life things that are just like, I've always found this annoying, so let's make a change.
Yeah. Like what we added last year. Again, thanks to one of the Tuesday streams, was the age on the free agency screen that came last
Again, sometimes things are good ideas. A lot of them aren't, but sometimes they are.
year. Anything else? Yeah, because I know.
I think we also added a little bit of offer history on here. So if you're hot in negotiations and you kind of go back and forth a couple times on some of these things, sometimes you can forget what you've offered in the past, what they've countered with in the past as well. So we've added, just a little bit to show you, what you've been negotiating with and about, and yeah, so it just gives you a little bit more.
Not at all. Very close.
No. So that just gives you, again, just more things that it's kind of like, remember what you offered. Like, they remember what it is. So we may as well show it and tell you, and then at least you kind of know what was going on, where you've been negotiating with.
Yeah. Andy. Hey Matt, can we add commas on here so I don't accidentally offer him $180 million?
You can type that comment, can't you?
Type the comma. Yeah, so now you can see what changed each time. That's good. That's handy.
Yeah.
I try to
I
keep
think
up all with stuff.
you can even put, there's like a little discuss button if you want to kind of go back to that offer and sort of paste that one in, so that you can go, in case if you're arguing back and forth with the like, I want a 2-year deal, if they want a 6-year deal, then you say I want a 2-year deal, and they say I want a 5-year deal, and there's all these things that it's just annoying sometimes. So it's nice to just be able to do. And there you go.
Offer. What is the deal? 310 million over 15 years. Suit him just fine.
He's already like 30, isn't he?
30. Hey, we got Adam Wainwright starting World Baseball Classic games at 41, and
I mean, Darvish just signed till he was 42 or 43.
I mean, that's the Padres. I don't know if that actually counts, but right, that's cool. You know what? Not gonna lie, I didn't even check the change log to see this offer history thing. And this is awesome, and the discuss button rather than me just clicking back to offer contract again. And it gives you the stuff that they added in there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of nice things always on there. And obviously the other big change with I don't know why I'm now switching on to trading. I guess would be the next logical thing to look at as well, right? You've got obviously you've done an awful lot of changes with how the trade deadline works overall. Obviously some changes under the covers with the general trade AI. We've made lots of passes around on that. But the big change is with the trading deadline now. We basically added the way to make the trading deadline useful or interesting rather than being an item on the calendar that perhaps people would accidentally just constantly sim through. Not that I've never done that on my saves, just accidentally click continue the next day and you've been like, oh, nope, sorry, that's past the trade deadline. But yeah, so the big change on the trade deadline is adding a sort of stepwise or real-time trade deadline day to really take that into high mode.
Currently, we're at July 21st. So I just need to go to the 30th, right? But just creep up on.
You can just go right there. I think the new trade deadline page shows up about a week before the deadline itself, give or take.
I turned off Do Not Disturb. Cubs. Want Ian?
Williams is a good from the start, though.
Actually, not a bad.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've made changes to the trading in AI, so that like you might not always just get terrible trade offers from the computer. I mean, you will still. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't think we could ever go a game without just having them be like, "Can you give me, your best player plus your top 3 prospects, and I'm going to give you, 36-year-old middle reliever signed to another 4 years." But
yeah, actually, in my testing, I've noticed that the trades are.
We're still narrowing down a little bit too on some of the trading levels too. I think there's so that's always a work in progress, and we'll always be playing around to try to find the right balance. We've added a couple more trading levels so that it's a little bit tougher to handle. Yeah, again, they always want someone like a Frelick top prospect. So
Frelick he automatically goes untouchable.
Yeah,
Frelick a hero for us in our Red Sox. All right, July 20. Getting close.
Yeah, an awful lot of offers from the computer too. But, we're gonna have to tune that down a little bit. But
I mean, we're getting.
But yeah,
this is the trade deadline. Stuff's gonna be happening.
Yeah, as I said, the deadline, you do get more. There's more offers. There's more activity. There's a lot more things going on, and it's a way to just increase the things. You'll also see sometimes just releasing. We don't need Jason Alexander.
EFA George from Seinfeld.
Just releasing.
Been messing too much because I have the active roster up 4 times.
Yeah, there's always. I mean, just while you're on this screen, there's always other little things too that we always don't necessarily mention, but like in this screen, you can actually customize it to know how many boxes you have. It's not just gonna like default to your screen resolution. So if you're somebody who is like, oh man, I really hate it when they just cram all those boxes on the screen, but
If you love when you cram all the boxes on the
or,
screen.
or some people love cramming all the boxes, so just adding some little customizations like that is again just something that's people have asked about that, people have wanted that. I
Anybody,
always
do you know anybody in particular who wanted that? That may have sent you a Slack message late at night one night.
was that you?
Mm-hmm.
It might have been you.
Now that I have my 1440p monitors, I was like, I need to see everything.
Yeah, so that's again other things, but yeah, on the trading, so we've added a whole lot to the trade deadline uh, excitement, which we're just getting to. God,
Getting so many proposals.
seriously, what the hell is going on with this?
They're good. They're good. Yeah, I mean, they're good traits.
Not good, not terrible trades, right?
No, I'm not accepting any of them. Hey, did we fix that other bug that I mentioned? I thought we're getting to that screen.
Now we're on deadline day.
Boom. Our trade deadline.
So yeah, you can start the trade deadline day. So we'll see how many options you had set up, but so yeah, so the big thing with the trade deadline day is we have this ability to have a real-time clock essentially on the deadline day. So you can set it up so that on deadline day, there's essentially a fixed number of periods that you can sim through, and each period, in this case, is 4 minutes long. And once you start it, once you click OK, you get a countdown timer, and you gotta basically get in whatever trade offers, trade options, trade negotiations that you want to do and submit those. And then at the end of that period, basically, it will kick you off of whatever stream you're on, essentially, and let the AI will do some thinking, do some pausing, do some considerations, and basically go through and evaluate the deals, come back potentially with some counter offers, come back with general stuff, and yeah, you get to repeat that a number of times during the day. So
starting the clock.
you've already got a trade proposal.
Okay, what do?
You can pause the deadline day if you
Pause.
want, if you need to like go to the bathroom.
I need to go back to that
So,
screen.
yeah,
I hit the wrong button.
it's the transaction screen. So on the so yeah, on the trade deadline screen itself, basically, as you said, leading up to deadline day, you get a general screen here where you get a list of all the various deals that have been offered to you. If you've made offers that the AI has accepted, you can complete them here. If you need to go negotiate, you can go and use the response and go discuss the deals. Give your counter offers if you want to make some changes, if you want to add someone else. And it's a race against the clock essentially to get your offers in. Now again, it's not everything has to be done in the first trade period. So in this case, you've got four of these 4-minute segments during the day. So you can go and have a little bit of time to negotiate. If you don't want to, if you're done for this period, like if we just say, I don't care, I'm just going to keep my team as it is, you can hit the pause button and have that essentially quick sim to the next deadline period, or if you sim through and just have it finish the day overall. Trade has been completed.
Now, if you hit pause, again, you can go
So
to the
you can always,
bathroom, but you can't do anything else. This is not
and we have,
a pause
yeah,
and go look at guys and be like, do I really want to trade them? This is just pause, walk away.
if you're in commissioner mode, you can cancel and cheat, but if you're not in the commissioner mode, then yeah, it's just a pause and you can't do anything else until you resume. So and I mean, if you even quit your game and set it again, I think we actually set the clock at the timer here. So I mean, there are always ways to get around it, don't get me wrong. but it's trying to give you a real thought, a real negotiations. I was playing around with one on the weekend, and I had a good case where I was working on a deal, and I think I hit the complete trade button when the clock in the top said zero.
You know what else we need to talk
So,
about?
oh
This big red bar up here.
yeah, trade reputation is not very good right
Very not good.
now. We might still have to debug some stuff on that. But yes, that is another one of the changes that we've added to here. It generally matters a little less in this sort of the old trading mode where you can always negotiate. You always get the reaction from the other team to tell you what they like it, and you're fiddling and negotiating. But you have a trade reputation bar, which will impact what the AI will accept. So if your reputation is in the red like this, basically it means you've probably not been very good with trading. Like you've submitted offers that the AI has liked, and they come back and say, "That's a great offer, I love it," and you said, "Haha, no, I'm not going to complete that," and you cancel that offer, or you like go back and be like, "Oh, I want to add another like 5-star prospect from their side." Like if even if they accept that, if you kind of have that offer that you've submitted to them in the past that they like more, and it's the same players, it's the same setup, they're going to be upset, and your reputation will go down. But if you make trades that the AI likes, if you give them a deal that they actually enjoy, then your reputation will go up. And yeah, the most impetus for this is to deal as well with the hard mode for trading, which is another new mode that we've added, where when you're on the trade screen and negotiating and discussing, I think it's in the game setting or the players AI settings, sorry, where the trade frequency and stuff is. You can't trade now because you're in deadline day, and you can't. So if you're kind of already in this, if you actually go to commissioner mode, we can kind of hack our way out of and get this.
We're just going to talk about it. We don't need
You don't have to show it off. But yeah, the main part of the hard mode is when you're on the trade screen, you don't get the immediate reaction from the opponent. You get your assistant DM's reaction. So you'll be able to see what Matt Arnold thinks about the trade, but you won't be able to see what Matt Arnold, the coder that's working on the other side of the team, likes on the trade. So it's like when you're playing, if you're in a fantasy league, if you're in real life, like you're not usually negotiating with someone and being like, "Hey, if I trade you these two guys for these two guys, what do you think?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'd take that." And you'd be like, "Okay, but what about if you add your top prospect in?" And they'd be like, "No, I don't like that." And be like it's like you can't, like they're not going to tell you if they like a deal until they say like put it on the trades, put it on the trade stream, and then we'll see. And so yeah, the main impetus for that hard mode is that you don't get the immediate reaction. You have to submit a trade to the AI, to the opposing GM, to know if they like it, if they accept it or not.
And if you're in hard
And
mode, no more like, I'm just going to add this guy and this guy and this guy and
yeah,
this
or
guy.
the like, you play with the retain button, so it's like you click the adding 5% retain until it just pops with the complete trade now button instead of the submit
Submit
offer
offer.
button. The exact level. You have to actually basically go. I mean, you can still play around with it, and your assistant DM will tell you what they think of it at each level. So maybe you go and play with that until your assistant GM says, you know, goes from saying, I really like this deal to, I don't know, maybe it's okay, or if they go from saying, you know, um, you know, I like this deal, but the other GM will be fired if they accept it, for example, to some other level. So, you have to think about it. It's a hard mode, right? It's not quite an Iron Man mode, but it's certainly getting there. And our deadline window came in. So just like that, didn't take them too long to calculate. So the next deadline period is supposed to start. So right away, you see you got another trade offer in the middle of the day, and you can go and negotiate and evaluate that. And I guess here we submitted something to them, and they said, almost. So that one, they didn't tell you if you could add anyone to it, right? So it also had a few things so you can just like immediately add the person to the deal. And as always, we hopefully that we have fixed the error so that hopefully when they say if you would add, someone to the deal, then they will actually accept it. But we're always working on something like that.
Yeah, if we add Garrett Mitchell, Eric Brown Jr.
Yeah. So yeah, you can just respond to the message with adding,
Oh, this
Garrett
is
Mitchell.
first off, is this new since the last
Yeah,
build
there's
I
a
was
couple.
checking?
I mean, it was a couple of weeks ago or so. So
I can just come in
yeah,
and
so you can just add them. They'll just directly add them to the deal and then go straight to the trade window, so you can go and negotiate and discuss.
Huh.
And just go and do that now. So again, it's like rather than always flipping back and forth between the other window and this window and all that stuff, right? So we've made a lot of effort here. We've tried to do things. Yeah, you can also review your pending deals if you have like stuff you've negotiated. Some of these ones you can go back to if you have. We've tried to make sure that this is exciting, is interesting, has a lot more going on with it, and is just tells you everything that you need to know, and really makes you struggle on deadline day to try to figure out what deals you want to make.
Doing this. We have the greatest pitching staff ever now. We've got Alex Cobb,
Yeah.
picking off this active roster. Miley.
Well,
I feel like it's always Wade.
Miley is always someone who is like good, but he's just like, is there someone better? But he's not bad. But
Oh, as setup man. Kinda love it, kinda hate it. Oh, we have a. Now we're winning. What are we? A game under 500? 2 games over? I forgot we're in trade deadline day. Oh.
yeah, we don't have a reminder you have 1 minute left thing. So you do kind of have to remember and not get too sidetracked on things. But yeah, once you get through the deadline day periods, you have that. And then there's also the fun where, technically speaking, at the end of the deadline periods, if you have an offer to you actually basically give you an option to accept the deals or reject them, but you can't negotiate anymore because basically the deadline is over. But before you sort of fully finish the deadline, so if you actually keep these offers on here and like skip to the next period a couple times, you can actually you have to pause and skip to the pause and then skip to the next time. And if you do that
We're all
again,
still learning the game.
yeah, it's exciting. I just like to show off this stuff. So if you pause and skip to the next one again, for example, let's see if this works. Sometimes it might not quite work. I think now you might be in a case where you can accept these deals, but you can't actually negotiate with them anymore. You might be able to. We might be off by one on here, but
No, I can still.
maybe we can. Maybe it's only in hard mode sometimes too.
Wait.
But there is a point where you kind of get to the point where you actually kind of have this like the deadline day is over, but it basically gives you like one last chance to like to send an email to the commissioner's office to finish the deals. And I feel that one is the potentially.
I meant to reject it.
We've put a good lot of effort into trading. I mean, hopefully it will be a nice, exciting time period. So if you pause and skip to the next one, see what this says here. We might be off by something on our. Yeah. So here, basically, it kind of gives you that one last chance to finish the stuff that's in negotiation. Mostly, it's because if you've just submitted something to the other team, it takes them that period to accept back and tell you, oh, I accept this, but now you actually have to still complete it. auto-complete all the deals that are submitted. So we kind of have to give you this extra period here to finalize it. And so if you have trade offers from the AI, you either accept them or you reject them, and you don't have any other chance to negotiate it. So, good luck deciding if this deal is marginally worth it or.
And yes, the AI is completing other deals.
Yeah, they're always
That's weird.
negotiating, updating as you're going. You can see on the left, there's a little bit of your trade rumors going too. So as you're negotiating and discussing, you can actually see some of those trade rumors pop up. You can see what else is going on in the league. You can obviously see on this page what other trades they completed. So
And you got to be careful because you remember they might have an offer out to you, but they also might have offers out to other teams for that same player. You say, "Oh, I'll just wait for the next sim session." That guy might be.
It might be gone. There's certainly someone from that deal might be traded away. So there's a lot of the deadline. I think there's certainly a lot of places that we can take this going forward too, and we'll always keep working on it, keep moving, keep adjusting.
Live, you can notice the trade block down.
Yeah, you can see the trading block. See who's probably shouldn't give you the trade window here. Really
out here. Already past the thing, so we can't.
Yeah, you can only accept the stuff that's in progress right now in this period, or not.
We're not trading Luke Volt. Miners apparently. Yeah, I don't know uniform stuff. You know uniform stuff? The uniforms aren't.
I mean, we've made some changes to uniforms. I mean, obviously, the big change to uniforms is showing the names and numbers in game. All that stuff is also even more customizable and so on. In the past, so for example, you can have your, some uniforms that show names on them, some that don't. I know the modders have and will create various uniform options for like historical uniforms and stuff, but you'll be able to do a lot of stuff with the uniforms.
Yeah, so you can customize how long you want those periods to be. Up to 30 minutes. I sit here all day.
I had to pick a top limit to give you. It was like.
And we also have how many rounds? Or is it just...
How many rounds?
Oh, I'm also still in trade deadline.
Yeah, I think the how many rounds is actually on the league side, so you can actually set that for the league itself. You can basically set it anywhere from no rounds, which is basically just there's no deadline day, extra stuff, up to I don't know 10 or 20 different rounds. So if you want like 20 different rounds, it's on the trade settings. I forgot what various rules or options. Yeah, there's the trade deadline. So you see how many bonus rounds you could do. You could do up to 20 bonus rounds, or sort of the like one round, the kind of that one little thing. You got the ability to trade international amateur tax space, which you might get to see on the amateur pool stuff. I think we might be able to look at that later, although I don't know how long our stream is going to run, but
well,
got a lot of stuff to show on. Jeez.
I say we put it on 30 minutes and then we do 20 trade rounds and we just stream for 10 hours.
What
could go wrong?
People might that now, but
trying to think.
I mean, otherwise I would set it to be like 10 minutes. Someone is like, I want a 2-hour stream. I just do the trade deadline for 2 hours, and so yeah, we can trade down for tax space because we've done a whole lot of trading changes in the international amateur setup too. We've done a whole lot of stuff in game as well. As I said, not just the names and numbers. We've added a whole bunch of new fun camera stuff in game as well. I don't know what we want to look at next, maybe.
I was just looking to see if quick start to have the.
So looking through some of the rules, that would be in the stats and AI section. I forget if we've actually fully gotten all those. It's at the bottom. We might not have updated that quite yet. But,
Field shifts very off. Ban and field shifts. Yes. There we go.
yeah, that should be banned. We still, as we said, there's still the pre-release beta software, so we've still gotta fix up a few of those items.
Yeah. Again, as you know, rules. I feel like rules are still changing as they come. Seasons. So working on getting all that up. But Matt, what are you doing?
I think the power just went out where I am here, so apparently I may not necessarily. We'll see how long our
All right. Well.
my internet works for, but
All right then. Let's we're going to switch
okay,
over to a different save. Going to bring us to the middle of October. White Sox. So we can dive into some of the new international amateur free agencies. There's the lights. Let's go.
and we're back.
I would ask where you are, but I don't want to dox you on stream.
I'm in one of the many areas which does experience power outages and issues at times. Which,
Oh wait,
given the members of our team, that could be Germany. But
I lied, not White Sox, Royals. Bad. Just a straight up lie. We are currently October 10th. October 17th, the International Free Agent Showcase begins.
just go. We can start talking. But yeah, so the international free agents. This is mostly spearheaded, say, by Will, the team. And basically, it's just we've wanted to make updates to the international amateur process for a while now. All right, this is the old July 2nd period, which in real life is now January. And yeah, so the big changes here is basically you have this international showcase mode where your team basically gets a number of little sort of mini training camps that you can invite the international amateurs to get more information, to get more thought out of them. So as always, these are 15, 16-year-old players, so your scouting is very low, very raw. You get very little information on them. But if you invite them to the training camp, there isn't an invite to training camp button.
Two different ones. You invite him to a
Yeah.
private practice.
Yeah, so basically you get every month you get essentially one private practice that you can run. So you can invite 10 or 15 players, I believe, to this private practice, and you will get essentially a little bit more scouting information on them. You will also basically get a little bit more, I don't know what you call it, a little bit more reputation, a little bit more, interest in them, right? You can improve, basically it's a way to improve your relationship with them.
In the past, it was kind of just you give the guy $5 million and just hope.
Yeah,
I mean more than that, but
there was a long system, just nobody understood it. But yes, this is a way to really go through and see, to way to actively play a role in scouting and investing and investigating and just seeing about these guys. So you can see, a way to improve your reputation with them. As you said, you get one of these camps every month. So the default signing period is in January. The showcase opens 3-ish months beforehand. So basically, you get a camp in October, November, December, January. So you get 4 camps, and you can decide how to use them. Right? So you can invite up to 15 players. So you can invite the same 10 or 15 players every camp, or you can spread it around. Right? So this is the decision. You have to decide if you really want to go target someone, you might want to invite them to 4 camps to improve your reputation with them. But then you're not going to get scouting information about the other players, right? So it's that decision. Do you want to focus on somebody? Do you want to go and scan through what other players are out there? And every month you'll see like a league interest, which is kind of a view of how many other teams are inviting them to these camps and too, because the AI is also doing this on their side to improve their reputation with the players. And so you can kind of see, like, maybe you get a couple camps in and you see somebody who has a very low league interest. Maybe it's worth it to invite them and see if you can kind of snipe someone who is there.
Let me just run
The
practice.
lock is there if you want to. If basically the players that you add get locked. Otherwise, the players the computer adds on. Because if you run the practice, kind of, if you don't fill out your pool, I think the computer will kind of automatically pad it out. So you always get the maximum number of players. But if you run the practice, it can remove the players that you don't want. So this is if you want to kind of tag someone you want to invite back to the next camps, or if you want to kind of give it a little bit more free form. And yeah, you can run these by yourself. Like this. So now you've already run your October practice basically. So you have to skip to November to see the next practice.
Skip to November.
The next month.
Lots of ways to do it.
You might need to go and do my disturb mode if you didn't want to get disturbed. But yeah, so basically the cap is a way to give you more agency in how to curate and do this, right? Just because you invite someone to a camp 4 times still doesn't necessarily mean that they will assign to you.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, there's a bug. I gotta go fix that. Sorry, I gotta.
Freeman, third in the league, and
Over hit 400. Wow.
Braves, what'd they do?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like the camps is certainly a way to give you more agency on Shohei Ohtani.
Let's go. We have Luis Guillorme, but let's go.
I mean, he's a pending free agent, right?
Oh.
So
I think of J.R. Ritchie.
Might be a slight bug on trading AI.
I don't think so. I think the trading AI is absolutely perfect. All right, back to what we were talking about.
I don't remember what I was talking about now, but yeah. So yeah, stuff. It's a way to give you a lot more agency, a lot more hands-on in the international process, as you said, rather than just like give them 5 million in credit. And then we've also added other parts, which is also part of the MLB rule sets, right? Again, are always configurable as well, but as you said, you can trade the cap pool in increments. And we try to sort of respect some of the actual MLB rules as well on that. So you can only trade to acquire, a certain percentage of your baseline pool. We've also added that the baseline pool can be adjusted based on revenue sharing as well, so that the teams that are, like an MLB, the teams that are in the revenue sharing pool actually get more international cap space than others. Some of this stuff is always configurable as well, but it's always we've tried to add more of the actual rules in place. We tried to add more of the decision making, try to add more of the process, and just try to make it an exciting and more interesting setup rather than, as you said, you have 2 days to give them $5 million or not.
You see their scout accuracy already went up. I feel like some of the relationships went up. League interest was definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see like, and some of the stuff is like maybe you see, you invited them, but the league interest is very high, and you suddenly start to think, I don't know if the demand is going to be worth it. Maybe you just say, I'm going to cut bait and run, or not, and you can go through. You have, as I said, I think it's by default it's about 4 counts that you have to worry about, and you just got to make those decisions. So
removing that guy.
yeah, and if you don't manually run the practice, it will just run directly at the end of the month too, so don't have to worry if oh, I forgot. If you forget to run it, it'll always kind of run to somebody and with something. So again, if you don't care about this or don't want this, it'll just run in the background and they'll just do it. And then you can get to your,
Yeah, just set your event.
January 15th or whatever it is period. And then, you still got to give your offers out. But
Yeah, or just have your assistant GM do it.
yeah,
I want this pitcher now. We should probably go back to the other save for the game since we're thinking about them. That's going to be good.
yeah, it's certainly someone to target. So
It's going to be expensive, though. But we have a strong relationship, so theoretically.
yeah, this is it. Maybe you invite him to enough camps, you have to wait for the period start. So
Figaro was the guy I already counted out. We don't have to show anything.
probably not. I mean, the rest of the actual stuff, the actual period is largely the same as before. So you still have to offer the contracts. Maybe if there's strong interest, the AI teams will all be offering, and you might get some bidding wars and so on. But generally speaking, by default, we've added, there's more guys that show up in this pool, like in 60 or 100 players now instead of sort of 30 before. So just a little bit deeper into that.
You want to go hop into a game?
Yeah, that's probably what. Let's
What's
go
changed?
watch. Let's go watch a few minutes.
No, we'll.
We've made a few nice little super stats replay. We've added some lots of fun little camera stuff. Like if you remember from the trailer, there was that like big sweeping camera shot that was flying through the ballpark, and I'm sure a lot of people looked at that and was like, oh yeah, that's fun. You added a nice little in-game screen render of this, camera flying through the ballpark, but that actually exists in the game. So there's
Still in commissioner mode. Take your demotion. Got options? Oh,
somebody's got to have options.
screen set up actually correctly. Oh, I'm at the 40 man.
Yeah.
Colin Ray, nice to know you. All right. Sal Frelick is the DH. I mean, I think he's a good defense. Yeah. I just want to watch Lucas Giolito pitch for the Brewers now.
Just oh yes. What's wrong? Rehab.
Goodbye. That would have been a better DFA before. Okay. He just probably got pressed. Oh. Do it. Fix it. Figure it out. I trust you. No, Christian Yelich is hurt now too. Finish today. No. Play. The Pirates? Sure. Love that suit. Pitcher BAPIP stuff is in perfect team.
And historical mode too. The picture backup is a lot of stuff for the historical. Basically, when you play those, we'll rate the backup on pictures for those, just to give mostly to make sure the top players performed over time, and so we have the camera pan on them. All super stats replays for the starting pan. Yes, I think it looks good. What are you looking for?
Looking for my short play-by-play. Already set. Brandon Woodruff. I did all this just to get
Yes.
Lucas Giolito, who is on fire. Elke Cespedes.
Yeah, let's just start.
Up here. Oh, wrong button. Okay. Oh, I've been playing around with you. Any particular view you want to use?
I think it's fine. It's fine to keep this here as the sort of a TV view. But yeah, so basically we've added some. I mean, obviously we've added a bunch of general fixing, and
I've added way more stats down here.
I think that depends on your screen resolutions and sizes and customized setups and so on. But yeah, so we've added. I mean, obviously we've done you know, generally speaking, a pass through a whole bunch of these things. It actually does go starting pan. Sometimes it may. Should be doing it here. Well, maybe it's set that way. No, I used to be done. But yeah, so we've added basically more stuff in game so that things actually kind of come out like you kind of expect from things, right? Just the players walk around a little bit on the play. They'll players that are out will run off the screen. We've done always a decent pass in terms of making sure that fly balls look right, that players are running around trying to catch the ball, trying to just give the game more personality and more things. We are always working on updating the cameras, updating that view in terms of pick off there. Making sure that things actually, look good, look right. You get some fun diving plays in the outfield. Like we've made some good efforts, and as you see, like players have the name and number on the jersey.
That's like so huge. It's like it feels like such a little thing, but in actuality, it's so huge.
It just adds so much more to things. There's more customization options. Players players can wear high socks. Like there's an option for that on both uniforms and the players themselves. So especially if you're playing in some of those old time games, you can have it so that everybody's wearing high socks. If you're playing a modern one, you can have it so some players will do that. Players can customize their back colors. They can customize a lot more things. We've added a lot more into the audience details. The audience should react a little bit to some of the plays in question in terms of they may clap a little bit here or there. They may do some other thing. And as you said, we've also added more of this sort of super stats. I forget always what we call it, but you can look at it on the it's Shift F10 or on the options. You can view the super stats
Replay. Shift F10.
Yeah. So you can view that replay, which will give you a little bit of the sort of camera that follows things. It'll show you a little bit more details on the play. And you can do that for any play. You can do it for, if you have a home run, you get the, much larger view on the home run. If you do it for a regular play, you do that.
Which button do I hit to hit a home run?
That's my debug mode that I have the home run button. You can view the spray charts there, the F8s, or the other stuff, which will show you the on-field spray display. It's F8, or it's a little button on the bottom left widget on the batter there. We actually have it on the on. It's right below is ground ball, fly ball. Next to the picture.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Okay, hit F8.
I believe you. Oh, it doesn't really work when you're using this view.
Yeah, and it's nicer in some views. If you're on the wide view or the home run or the default line, you can see their spray display, which is sort of a mix of what they've actually done this year versus what their actual tendencies are. And so just added a few more things like that. And as you said, on the super stats, that shows all the exit velocities, all that sort of stuff. And just, you know, you can see if it's a 5-star catch or not, and all that stuff, right? So just added a lot more just to make this exciting, to make it interesting, to give you that agency to let, really, really see what's going on the play.
Yeah, spray charts are using that season's stats. So on opening day, there will be no spray chart.
They're a mix of the season stats and the general full push ground ball tendencies and stuff too. So you always get a spray chart. Just depending on how much data you have, it'll be a mix of the real season and the other stuff and so on. So it's, the longer you are in the season, the more the more precise it kind of looks. And we just made a lot of good passes through, just on a lot of different plays, a lot of different setups, just to keep it exciting, keep it interesting, really make you wanna just watch your guy walk around after he's got a big strikeout here, right? Like it's just the fun stuff that really brings you into the game. That is just fun.
Look, I feel like EVC was joking about adding the pitch clock into this, but I'm not gonna lie, I definitely messaged Matt late at night one night. Now that we have that clock for the trade deadline, why not we just use that over here for the 20-second pitch clock?
Yeah, pitch clock is. Marcus, I don't think is a big fan of the pitch clock of putting it in game. It's not really there's a guy that's letting that field.
Remember pre-release beta software?
Yeah,
they just slide across.
As I said, there's been surprisingly few bugs in this. The Braves winning the World Series, trading for Ohtani.
Feature, not a bug. Hey,
Yeah,
I was able to pull it off.
Like that.
I was able to pull it off with hard trade difficulty. Anything else in game you want to look at before we wrap it up?
I don't think there's anything necessarily. So you can't really force a home run to go, and you can't force there's always some fun. There's some fun Easter eggs that I sometimes like to add into at times that are 3-star strikeout difficulty. But
When Sosa sprained knee, so definitely.
But no, there's a lot of stuff. And as I said, we're always working on this. There's so much to do. There's so much going on that we just yeah. Maybe even just while you're here, there's if you keep clicking the half innings, we've added a few more cases where we actually tell you when your pitcher is getting rocked or getting tired and stuff that we may not have used to do in the past, that are just gives you a little bit more help.
Can I go back to this?
You'd have to watch it in the
after the game.
In the replay. Yeah, after the game replay.
Win? Better win.
Bottom.
Almost blew it.
That would have been an exciting game to watch. You have to leave and go back in.
Just win game.
If you go to the schedule page, I think you can.
Yeah, I knew which one was scheduled, please. Highlight reel or?
Should be on that. I mean, probably watch the replay, I think. Now, whether all this stuff works in the replay, that's a kind of fun question. But and yeah, you can set the super stats so those sort of flying cameras and camera trails happen on every play or only some plays too. So if you want to show it all the time. You can see it all the time. Yeah.
I also didn't look see
Again,
what inning that home run was.
it might have been useful.
Probably in the fourth. Half inning? Should be this
In the
one. There we
box.
go.
It's good drive.
On to for 17. They scored 200. Okay, you gotta again pre-release software.
I'll have to look into that. Into that.
Out. No!
Perhaps some of the stuff also needs to be fixed in the replays. We shouldn't have done this.
Yeah. It'll be working by the 24th. Matt promised. It was bottom 4, right?
There's Luis Urias.
Pause in between.
If you, oh no,
no, hit the wrong button now.
you kind of have to wait for that.
Highlight reel should auto show the superstat caster hope runs. Matt.
I debated that.
Curling Critter says it. Like put it in the paste.
I think some people would really not like that, as always.
We tried.
If you watch the replay and put it to put the super stat on all plays, so on the options here, you can put it to all plays, I believe.
It's on.
No, all there's a different option for all plays that you just put it on. If you watch the game with all those ball flight arcs and stuff, but
gotta figure.
I'm trying to show things, but we'll see. We'll
Pause between at bats.
Yeah.
Pop out. We are not going to do that. Alex will definitely be doing a video, though.
Yeah,
see, look, it's going. It's not respecting me.
Again, we may have some issues that we need to look into.
Alex, please open a ticket.
Yeah, Alex, you can open a ticket, and we'll look into this later today. I just didn't give you those options until after the play is done, and then you click, and then maybe you should. Anyways, we may not necessarily be able to watch that later.
I think we got it.
There we go.
Maybe? No.
No, it's not giving you it on there. Oh, we may not have set up replays, actually. That was possible. All right, well, I got some work for the rest of the day.
Yeah. This is why we do new builds every day. I like that the fireworks are still going for the ship it.
Yeah, I mean that's why we still got some time to fix up some of the stuff, but it's I think we showed off. There's a lot of good things, and there's a lot more that we haven't even mentioned, haven't even shown off here. That we're always fixing things, we're always tweaking, we're always working just to make as good of a build as we can that goes out to the pre-release customers on Tuesday, 1 week from today.
That's a great time to bring up the developer live stream schedule. As you just watch this, you can watch us not figure out how to get a Luis Urias Statcast home run again tonight right here, twitch.tv/OOTP Developments.
You can rewatch this tonight and look at us struggle all over again.
Yeah, might just turn it on and walk away, but And this
Yeah,
Thursday, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/OOTP developments, you can see the OOTP 24 Big Picture stream with Scott Braun and Marcus Heinzen. Highly recommend checking that out. Good little interview with Marcus about what's going on this year in the game. Then Monday, March 20th, Perfect Team 24 revealed Paul and Rob. Very excited to see that. Tuesday, not on the list, is the 21st, which is the day people that pre-order from OOTPdevelopments.com will get access to the beta. I can already see my voice is just going sadly fading.
yeah.
Got to turn my mic up so I can get it in there. Tuesday, pre-orders, beta access for the people that pre-order from OOTPdevelopments.com will start rolling out. And then that night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm just going to do a normal chill hangout sesh. And we'll click around in the game, play some stuff, see what happens. We'll have a very special guest who will remain unnamed until then. And then Thursday, This Week in Perfect Team 24 kicks off the new season live on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the 24th is the worldwide launch of Out of the Park Baseball 24. That's when you can pick it up on Steam, the Epic Game Store, the Mac App Store. Places that you pick up the game.
Yeah, go for everybody.
All right, Matt. Thank you very much for joining. Really do appreciate it. We got Discord working. The stream went off without many hitches till the end, till you wanted to start just trying random stuff.
Till I wanted to show off a cool, fun thing, and it didn't work.
All right, so we're gonna watch the trailer as we get out of here. But as always, you can follow us on Twitter at OOTP Baseball, also at OOTP Perfect Team. Oh my god, I could hear the voice just gone. Discord.gg/OOTP or forums.ootpdevelopments.com. In the forums, some people have been asking recently. If you go to the forums, there is this area for suggestions for future Out of the Park versions. So if you see something that you want to put in, that you want put into the game, drop it in there. I mean, Matt's a great developer. He can make things happen like that if you let him.
We got a good team. We're always looking. We're always adding things. You never know what's going to end up in. So.
YouTube.com/OOTP Developments. You're already here on Twitch. Hit that follow button. Drops. I don't know when we're going to have drops for 24 working. Hopefully soon. Don't know when. I don't even know if we've tested it yet. I'm sure it'll be working though.
We'll announce that when things are working. So
yeah, that's more of a Perfect Team kind of thing. Anything else before we go, Matt?
Do you have anything else right now? Just everyone get excited.
Yeah. If you haven't already, again, OOTPdevelopments.com. You can go pre-order the game now. Access to the beta on the 21st, full release on the 24th. You can add it to your Steam and Epic Game wish lists from there. Other than that, Matt, thank you very much for joining me. I think you're on this side. Hopefully I'm not looking the wrong way.
That way, I don't know. I got a mirrored screen here, I think so.
Have a great day and good luck. Hopefully the power stays on for the rest of the day.
Thanks.
Right, take it easy, Matt. And you guys take it easy too. Order the game and see you soon. Take it easy, folks.
24 years of excellence have all led to this. Out of the Park Baseball 24 is the definitive award-winning MLB strategy game. Play what the pros play. Out of the Park Baseball 24 takes baseball strategy to the next level like never before. All new on-screen analytics to power your decision-making, giving you a comprehensive view of the field. Dive deeper into the action with new 3D animations and visual improvements that bring the game to life. The most detailed GM mode in sports games keeps raising the realness bar. The most authentic experience ever. And Perfect Team swings back with a whole new experience. The incredible long-running baseball strategy series never stops hustling to be the best. Turn your team into a dynasty. Win the World Series. Out of the Park Baseball 24, the infinite baseball sandbox. Available March 2023.